We have some very distinguished speakers today that we asked to look to the future. And these are people who were not observers of what happened in Miami. They were doers. They were people who made things happen. Bill Talbert is CEO of the Greater Miami Business and Convention Bureau. Michael Lewis is the editor and publisher of Miami Today. Harvey Rubin is obviously the county clerk, former mayor of North Bay Village, and for many years, county commissioner. And T. Willard Fair is the CEO of the Greater Miami Urban League, which has been instrumental in providing housing and social services in certain portions of our community. I'm not going to get into large discussion of their backgrounds because I think if you've been around for the last 20 years or 30 years, and some of us 40 and 50 years, you know who they are. So I thank them for coming. Unfortunately, Maurice Ferre is not here today, and Kathy Rendell, the last minute, was unable to attend. But before we start, Sean Foreman is going to moderate. We're going to have the speakers up here. I went back and looked at 20 years ago this week what was going on in Miami, and I found this sort of sets the stage for this. I went back first to Miami Today, but online I only went back 10 years. Didn't go back 20 years yet, unless they did it wrong. But these were some of the things that were in the paper 20 years ago today, this week. State income tax, long-term fix for the state of Florida, panel says. Scenes of a shutdown of Pan Am. The Smith rape trial, big gossip. I thought it just had a little to this. Free Cuba to enjoy a tourism boom. Letters of the weary middle class. This is a good one. JMH leadership lacks compassion, experience. And the last one I picked out was the Twin Towers proposed for the mouth of the Miami River. And this is even pre-George Perez. So 20 years ago, some of the things were the same issues. And looking through the agendas that I mentioned before. But this group, and I think hearing from our speakers today to set the stage, the visions for the future. Because things happen in Miami very fast, some things. And some things like gambling, been around for 50 years, 60 years. Actually, we used to have gambling. But I'd like to invite our speakers up, and we asked each of them to sort of give us their impressions of what they view for the next 20 years, what the major issues to address. Then we will open this up for discussion. I know we're running a few minutes late, but I hope you can have a few minutes to stay later. But I thank you.
I predict that. Maurice I want to go right to left.
Well, thank you, Matthew. This is a great turnout, a great program, and thanks to Annette and Sheila for everything they've done. Again, I'm Sean Foreman, a professor of political science at Barry University. I moved to Miami in 1993, so I've lived here 18 years and followed county, local, and state government, and so read and watched a lot about these people over the years. Started coming to the forum about 5 years ago. Last year, they asked me to be a board member, and earlier this year, I started to moderate some of the forums. So I am only going to keep the microphone moving as we hear from these folks who have a lot of experience and stories to tell, and hopefully some vision of the future. And then we want to hear from you all questions and comments and make this an open dialogue for the rest of the time. So it sounds like the more things change, the more they stay the same with the headlines there. You guys, do you want to start, Mr. Rubin, or you want to go last? Okay, so Mr. Fair.
What if I were to do that?
Should we flip a coin?
Yes, please.
Okay, so maybe if you could give some brief comments about, a little bit about where we've been over the last 20 years, as brief as possible, and then we can set the stage for talking about the future. I was thinking, is there any particular program, event, activity, something that happened that most shaped the last 2 decades in the greater Miami area?
Yes.
And what would that be?